So continue our talk on modes. We're going to talk about the maybe the ugliest one, the ugly duckling of the bunch, and it's called Locrian. Okay. Locrian is the last one. If you do, I don't particularly like mode, or I do particularly like modes. I do particularly like L-Y-K-E modes. A lot. Oops, a lot. That is number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's as if you were to take a major scale and start on the 7th scale degree. Okay. So we got like 1. Or I'm sorry, we got what do we have? If you're in the key of C, we could use C major, and then we just start on B. Okay, so we go B, C, D, E, F, G, A, and finally B. Okay, so if you were to use this scale, you could figure out the half steps like we usually do with the or whole steps and half steps. Half step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step. And then you could figure out the chords, and the chords would look like this, where this is a diminished 1, major 2, minor 3, minor 4, major 5, major 6, a minor 7, and your diminished 1 again. Now, the reason this is the black sheep, or the ugly duckling or something, black sheep sounds cooler than ugly duckling, right? Black sheep of the mode world is because it starts on a diminished triad. Its first triad is a diminished. Every other one that we've seen will start on major, minor, minor, major, major, minor. Locrian is the only one that starts on a diminished. In fact, it does have the tritone, just like we saw in the Lydian mode that starts on F, for example. This is its tritone from F to B, but it's not found in its major triad. Its major triad, that it's the one triad in Lydian, was F, A, and C, which is a major triad. So even though it has the strange tritone in it, based on its tonic, it still doesn't warrant itself outside of a major mode. Locrian does. Locrian is the diminished mode. Everything else was either major or minor, depending on what scale degree it starts on. But Locrian is the diminished mode. There we go. Diminished mode. Okay. So let's look at one more thing that's really strange about this, besides the tritone. The first thing is it starts on a half step. The only other one that did this is Phrygian. And we saw that Phrygian, because it had all minor intervals, perfect and minor intervals, it came out to be a really dark scale. So Locrian is the same thing. Locrian is very dark. In fact, if we play this, it would sound like this. Very sad, very dark, very ominous, if you will. So it's a very scary scale, if you will. It's not happy like major. Major is super happy and calming. Locrian kind of makes people stressed out, actually. There's some psychological studies that talk about this. So if you want to make really hectic sounding music, go ahead and use Locrian, and it will get your point across. As for examples in the Locrian mode, there aren't too many out there, if any. So if you want to explore new territories of music, I encourage you to write your own Locrian music. Okay, use these chords, use the scale, focus on the 7th scale degree of the major a lot, or the first of the Locrian. Okay, so otherwise, if you use the Locrian scale, but you focus and you put a lot of C in there, then it's going to sound like it's major, right? So you got to make sure you're putting a lot of the B in there if you're using B Locrian. Okay, so that is the black sheep, or the weird diminished mode of all the modes.